Way to go. You're observant. I was trying to sneak on stage. I figured the lights were down. You'd never notice it. Well, now the fact that I'm actually, trying to do this hide in public kind of thing, wearing the suit jacket and all that, it's kind of cool. I've been wearing this for 2 weeks now. I got it at the Sassy Lion. They had a fill a bag for $5. And I went in there and I tried this one on, and darn if it just didn't fit like the best. I want to get a suit made just like this one. But I've noticed since I've been wearing it that, I've been getting a lot more people walking up offering me their business cards as opposed to spare change. So I'm not sure if I like that as much, because at least the spare change paid, right? You never know what you're going to get when you get a business card. So here we are. Thank you very much for making it a full house. That's really big for us. It's always nice to have people in the audience when it's this full, especially when it's someone like Shari. Now, the thing is, there's some people here that haven't been here before, and that's real cool. So what we're going to explain to you is that during the break, there will be washrooms down the very end of the hall. If you walk to the very back, there's a little hangout room in between. All the things you see here, they look really neat, but none of them are for sale. I'm what they call a hoarder. No, a collector. A collector of things. And the funny thing is when I took this over a year and a half ago, this was a lime green building with a lot of purple. Barney and Kermit had been in the building because it was a children's secondhand clothing store. So this is really nice that we changed it all up, but everything I've got here I owned before. Like it was just in another place waiting for this to happen, which is just so cool. But anyway, enjoy when you get a chance to browse. And the other thing I'm going to bring out is, please observe that there's only twice that there's been a backdrop on this stage. And thank goodness I didn't take the screws out from the last time she was here, because she was able to put it out when I wasn't looking. The only person who ever gets a chance to do that is the one and only Shari Ulrich, and that's what we're here tonight to see, her and her two friends that are going to be just giving us some harmonies to die for. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Shari Ulrich a big warm welcome.
Totally prepared with beverages. Oh, wow. We've got 6 bottles of water and 1 coffee. I'm just going to have a little sip. Hang on. Okay. How have you been? It feels like I was just here, but I wasn't, was I? Not that long ago? Wasn't it a full year? A full year is acceptable. Less than a year, perhaps not. This would be my friends, which entail my daughter Julia Graff, my fellow High Bar Gang member Kirby Barber. And if you don't know the High Bar Gang, do you know the High Bar Gang? Yes, no. High Bar Gang is a bluegrass band that was put together about 8 years ago, maybe. It was actually before Kirby's time and Dave Barber, her husband's time. But we've had a couple of Juno nominations. It's only old-style bluegrass, and it has nothing to do with what we're doing tonight. So I'm not quite sure why I'm talking about it, except to say that that's why I know Kirby. Know her before we started, before they joined the band, and then when I realized what a fantastic bass player she is, I stole her from everyone else she's been trying to play with. I'm going to steal, speaking of stealing, I think there's a couple in here, so I'm going to take one. Magic. So how have you been? Did I miss anything? Any drama in your community? You just motor along? Well, when Julia hit the age that I was when I sort of ran away to Canada, I was in awe of the fact that she was she knew who she was and where she was going a lot more than I did. But I'm still in awe of the fact that we start from nothing and having not a clue who we are or what we're going to be when we grow up or what we're going to do, what our path is going to be, and we make lives for ourselves. We make families, we make friends, we make careers, we make community, and it's quite a miracle, and so I'm celebrating that in this song. Are we ready? I do call them kids. Is that offensive? Are you okay with that? Okay, good. Come on, kids, let's go. There once was a time I had time on my hands in my pockets, and my pockets full of sand. I had nowhere to be. I could be anything that I wanted, and I wanted everything. Oh, but now I'm older, with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I've got a job, I've got the kids, a never longer someday list. I've got worries, I've got debt, I never seem to catch my breath. Yet it's the gravity that keeps these feet on the ground. This life that I found, this life. Bide my time if you do go. I ran breathless and whole through the whole world around me. I found all I could hold, and I let it all surround me. Oh, but now I'm older, with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I've got a job, I've got the kids, a never longer someday list. I've got worries, I've got debt, I never seem to catch my breath. Yet it's the gravity that keeps these feet on the ground. This life that I found, this life. Well, I'd say it all worked out of blessings and of curses, and the worst without a doubt. It turned out was always worth it. I've got my job, I've got my kids, I'm getting to that someday list. Still got worries, still got debt, I'm taking time to catch my breath. Yes, it's the gravity that keeps these feet on the ground. This life that I found, this life, this life, oh, this life, this life. Nice. Sounds great up here, Tim. Thank you. Good night. Let's give him another one. Is that gonna stretch? I think I'm moving over here. I didn't actually look. Yes, I am. So when I had Julia, I had no idea that I was going to end up with not only a musician to play with, or she plays with other people as well, but my own sound engineer. trained at McGill and my own photographer and videographer. It's hard to get her because she's so busy working for other people and with other people. Total bonus. But for some reason, when she was 6 years old, I felt compelled to write a song in anticipation of her leaving home. Not quite sure why. She was a perfectly nice child, but I did have this fantasy one day when I was sitting down at the piano. I imagined her bags packed by the door, trying to imagine how that was going to feel, really, because when they're young, until they're ready and you're ready, you just can't imagine it's ever going to be the case. So that's where this song came from. We're going to sing a little melody at the end. Well, we'll play it at the beginning. This was written on a dulcimer, so it has this modal sort of Celtic thing in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. And we could all sing it together at the end. Right? Because you love to sing. I know you do. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Still everywhere. This song was inspired by having a dog and living in BC, both of which involve, well, they're linked together in learning to make friends with the rain. Because you have no choice. You can go to MEC, you can get really good foul weather gear, but you still have to surrender to being wet. And that morphed into a concept of surrendering to things that are uncomfortable, that we don't want to think about, don't want to feel, and all the ways we have of avoiding those things. And because I do most of my lyric writing when I'm walking, that's where this all came from. Are we going to get down now? Everybody's walking on the city streets, got their hands in their pockets, their eyes on their feet. People all around, they don't want to know. One foot then the other, just go, go, go. Don't look, don't talk, don't rock, don't say. Just mind your business the other way. I'm so tired of being afraid. Lift my head up and say, hey, hey. Rain, 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 fall on me. Rain, 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 fall on me. Rain, 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 fall on me. Lift my face up to the sky, set me free. Everybody's running from the truth and pain, with a needle and a bottle, a pipe and fame. Big boys rolling on the 99. Nobody's gonna catch a break this time. Don't look, don't talk, don't rock, don't say. Don't want you thinking there's a better way. We're all tired of being afraid. Lift our heads up and say, hey, hey. Rain, 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 fall on me. Rain, 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 fall on me. Rain, 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 fall on me. Lift my face up to the sky, set me free. When you're lying and you're bleeding, with a hole right through your heart, let it ache and let it sting. Let a bird lean in and sing. Let it howl and let it ring. That's where it starts. Rain, rain, rain. It's a crazy world and it's a crazy time. We gotta learn to color out the lines. Don't listen to them saying who you gotta be. Grab the reins now, 1, 2, 3. Gotta dance, gotta talk, gotta rock, gotta win. You gotta let it out, let it in. We're all tired of being afraid. Lift our heads up and say, hey, hey. Rain, 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 fall on me. Rain, 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 fall on me. Rain, 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 fall on me. switched from playing fiddle on some songs to playing accordion as of yesterday. She has taught me a lot about being fearless, I must say. This song's been with me for a while. This is from the UHF era of life. I think actually I don't mean to make this all about her, but I'm pretty sure I was pregnant with her when I wrote this song. So that would make it exactly 26 years old. Yeah, it was inspired by a Pied Pumpkin tour and being in the Slocan Valley and joining all the rest of the people in the community, not all of them, but many of the families who would go to the Slocan River and in the heat, how it can get very hot up there. And the routine was to walk up the river and then just float down on your belly. And it was so fun that I just thought, there's these places in our communities that are it's a place where people gather. And it's usually related to nature, usually related to water. That was a long explanation. You've never heard that one before. See, I have to be on my toes all the time because they've heard stories. So I have to make them fresh every night. Or I look over at them and I know they're going, oh my God, I can't believe she's saying that same joke again. Never. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. You were flawless. Yes. I, however, had forgotten that I've been usually solo. I usually tour solo. So in order to keep myself interested, I have my way with my melodies and do whatever. And by the second chorus, I thought, how am I supposed to sing the last line of this chorus? I can't remember. Is this by the grace of goodbye?
Yes.
Could I have that bottle of water there, Julia? Would you be so kind? I know you're kind of busy, but thank you. Let's have a little toast to longevity, John and the Duncan Showroom for hanging in there. Whoops. For so many years. So grateful. It's one of the wonderful things about playing music for so long is there's so many people that I've known and, particularly as presenters. Well, you guys too. Such a long history that you have together, and I love that. This song has a bit of a story to it, which you've probably heard before. I would say stop me if you've heard it before, but I'm not going to let you do that. When I was 16 years old, I was an unwed, found myself pregnant, unwed mother, and knew that the best thing, thanks to my mother's encouragement, was to give my son up for adoption. And 39 years later, I found him. And this would be 9 years later, so he's almost 50 years old. Oh my God. Yeah, so occasionally I drop that little bomb. Oh yeah, well I have a 50-year-old son. What? And he's one of the most remarkable people we've met. And he's an architect in Eugene and just incredibly sweet and smart and funny and genuine and just everything you want in a human. And we've been very lucky. And of course, since I was a little more to the story, which is when I first started writing songs, I wrote a song about giving him up because I was mining my life up to that point, and I guess being raised on Joni Mitchell, thought, well, it's okay to write about your actual life and tell the truth, even though it wasn't necessarily something people would normally write songs about. So I wrote this song called Mysterious Child, and it went out in the world, and only good things came from it. So that's what I've been doing ever since. So I had to, of course, write the update to the story. This is called By the Grace of Goodbye. 40 years ago, on a cold December morning, a baby boy was born. And he cried and he cried. His mother signed the page. They whisked away her big mistake. She went home the next day, and she cried and she cried. Her mother said, it's for the best. Now you can move on with the rest of your life. By the grace of your goodbye. 40 years ago, on a January morning, the call came without warning. We have a baby boy. To another's hungry arms, he came so precious and disarming. A family was born in that little baby boy. The mother said, I wish the best for the one who changed the rest of our lives. By the grace of her goodbye. And every year on that day in December, she knew somewhere out there another mother was thinking of him and was wondering, was he happy, was he whole? She so wanted her to know that he was told her she should find him, that it was time, it was time. Those 3 words, yes, it's me, ended years of mystery, opened hearts and families. It was time, it was time. Brothers, sisters, daughters, wives, a mother's wish, a father's pride, a miracle of fate and time, tracing all the threads of our lives. By the grace of that goodbye, all by the grace of a goodbye. Thank you. Oh, I'll just be over here. No, I do not. Nope. I have everything I need right here. I'm going to do, or we are going to do a song from the past, just in case you're disoriented and you have no idea who the hell I am. Which is understandable, because I question it myself. This is from, again, one of the earliest songs that I wrote. And I was reading a book by May Sarton at the time called House by the Sea, about an elderly woman living in a house on the ocean. And I was thinking about my mother, and I was thinking about my future. And now that it suddenly is here, and I am that person in this song, I realize I wouldn't write the song the same way now. Lord knows I'll probably rewrite this song again in some other form. There's some things in this song that I wouldn't sing quite the same way, because I certainly do not feel like I'm fading away, for instance. But I like to play it because it's very familiar to a lot of people. So, and I love it. Do I count it in? 2, 3, 4. She stares out the window pane, watching the day begin. She loves how the colors change with the dawn. Every day she watches every day slip away, dreaming of yesterday. She remembers what a beautiful woman she was, and the man that she loved, in the silence after all the tears and laughter and time. She knows life has not passed her by. The music and photographs, they keep her company. She loves walking down the path to the sea. Every day she goes there every day. Every day, see how she fades away, fades away. She remembers what a beautiful woman she was, and the man that she loved, in the silence after all the tears and laughter and time. She knows life has not passed her by. She stares out the window pane, watching the night fall. She loves how the colors change with the dusk. Was that familiar to you? Oh, good. We didn't do this. Should we do? You know, I would. Would you like a uplifting song about divorce? Why not? Let's go for it. One of the fantastic things about, oh, I guess I didn't tell you this part. When Julia was getting her master's in music and sound recording. Wait a minute. Whose chord is that? That's not my chord. When she was getting her master's, she asked if I would be her term project and if she could record an album for me. So, needless to say, I said yes. And that meant that we were able to use McGill music students as the musicians, and they were exceptional. And we were able to have great adventures in production, like having a string quartet on a couple of songs and French horns and all sorts of. We had one song with French horns and banjo. It was fantastic. Very adventurous. Oh, look, there's two of them. I could put one in my pocket and then I'll be prepared. No, it's not yours. You have your own. Somewhere else. So this song has the recording of it, which you can listen to on your way home in the car, has a 4-part string quartet. Oh, wait, that's redundant, isn't it? Arrangement, and which is beautiful. And if you want to know what it's like to stand in the middle of a string quartet when they're recording, you could go to YouTube, my name, and the name of this song, which is called You Know I Would. And what I did was I had a Zoom camera, which has great audio and bad video because it was the first time I'd used it. And I was standing in the middle of the string quartet, and they're all wearing headphones hearing the track, but you, watching the video, you don't hear the track. You only hear the strings and the string arrangement and how interesting it is and how it weaves in and out and the earnestness of these musicians and being so precise and so beautiful and so perfect. It's really lovely to watch. So I encourage you when you go home, after you've listened to it in your car, to have that experience. Why am I so loud? You made me. Is that the same level it's been?
I think so.
Okay, never mind. At dawn's first blue light, you open your eyes. how I would. And oh, the books with all our photographs, the pages turned from sweet to sad. We cannot calculate the cost of all we lived and all we lost. As time goes by, you open your eyes and see the cracks of light in another day. Feet on the floor like every day before. Ever since your world forever changed. Let's do it, so little things. It's the little things. We're going to counteract that song with one that I wrote in honor of long, enduring, sweet, loving, kind, respectful, wonderful marriages. And I also forgot to give you my little lecture because I am aiming to change the world one divorce at a time. And my little lecture is that, which was inspired by the person who inspired that song, by the story of the end of his marriage to his high school sweetheart, which is that sometimes, not always, but sometimes, the end of a marriage is not so much a failed marriage, but a successful marriage that has run its course. And if we thought of it that way, we'd probably be a lot nicer to each other. So I encourage all of you who are about to get divorced. No, okay, on to this song. This song was inspired by Barney Bentall and Tom Taylor, who I have a trio with. Actually, we played at the old Duncan Garage many years ago, and they each have been married for many, many, many decades. Okay, maybe not that many decades, but for a very long time to wonderful. I mean, they just have fantastic partnerships, and it's inspiring to be around. They don't like me to tell the audience that this song's about their marriages when they're here, but they're not here, so I can do whatever I want. We recorded a second album not that long ago, which Julia and her partner James Perella also engineered and produced. We recorded it at Barney's house with the two dogs present, the two golden retrievers, which had quite an impact on the album, I'm quite sure of it. And it happens to be over there as well. This song is on it. Oh, I'm in the wrong key too. I like to take as much time between songs as possible. And it was really fun to record. And again, just pretend you're not here. I was very inspired by Julia in that she said, I've always wanted to do an album cover, and I could take the pictures for you, and I could do all the graphics, and okay. But that's partly Barney, who is incredibly supportive of everyone, and particularly the next generation. So I was very happy that he was excited about that too. And she did an amazing job. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm rarely happy with the full package, but I do find that CD covers and the booklet and everything else, it's just another extension of the expression of the music. So it's really fun to create it. But I don't think I'd ever done it, or not for many years had I done it in concert with someone else. So I really like that, Julia. Thank you very much. Okay. this thing. I hear it in so many songs you sing. It's not the vow, not the wedding ring. It's the light in your eyes that the morning brings. You hold the secret right there in your hands. Every time that you smile at her and say you understand. It's the little things that let her know that you love her and you let it show. It's the little things you learn to let them go. It's the ride of the rodeo. Love, good love. It's the little things. You were young, so naive, and came the kids, baby, 1, 2, 3. You were flying blind, couldn't stop to breathe. Well, there was your life and a family. You hold a secret right there in your hands. Every time that you laugh with her and reach out for her hand. It's the little things that let her know that you love her and you let it show. It's the little things you learn to let them go. It's the ride of the rodeo. Love, good love. It's the little things, stronger than you know. On and on and on it grows. Well, I know that the seas get rough. Well, out in the weather anything can rust. But you built this boat and you built it tough. You head for the harbor on the tide you trust. You both hold the secrets right there in your hands. Every time that you hold on tight, when the wind starts blowing on a stormy night, saying sorry after every fight. It doesn't matter if you're on the ride. It's the little things you let each other know that you love and you let it show. It's the little things you learn to let them go. It's the ride of the rodeo. Love, good love. It's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. I like the bando. Thank you. I should stay right where I am. This song was one that we had a 5-part French horn arrangement on. After Julia finished her program, was it 5.1 that we went into, or
No, it was 22.2.
22.2? Like McGill is very, very, high-end research. I don't even know what words to use, but she brought me into here. They have to pick one of their pieces, one of the songs from the album that they recorded to do in 22.1. 2, of course, which means, there's speakers everywhere in the room, and she picked this particular song. And it was so moving to sit in that room and listen to this gorgeous piece of music. So since we recorded this album, I've been simulating the 5-part French horn section on the harmonica, which leaves a little bit to be desired. So a couple of days ago, Julia said, why don't I try doing it on accordion? So that's what, do you still want harmonica in there too?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I can do that. I have the technology. And that would be this one and this one. Any questions so far while I'm preparing for this next selection? Any questions about 22.2? All I know is that it sounds amazing. I am endlessly fascinated by music, by how it makes us feel, by how it has that way of getting into your heart and soul like nothing else. So imagine that in 22.2. I mean, something to aspire to. Okay, just getting focused. Okay, this is a song about taking chances and indecision and having to jump off the cliff and trust. Do we start together? Yeah, we do. Yeah. You start. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. There's so many reasons why it's wrong and right. If you stay or if you go, just can't take another sleepless night with nothing more to show. Round and round we go forever. How will we know? Maybe never. Close your eyes, pick a hand and go. What if one more step is the one I'm gonna regret, and I lose the bet after the call? Well, then that's just life, and the best part of the surprise, it's all in free fall. Which way to go? Is it left or right? So many choices here and gone. I look down the road for a sign of light. But what if I am wrong? Round and round we go forever. How will we know? Maybe never. We can only give it up to the chosen road. One more step is the one I'm gonna regret, and I lose the bet after the call. Well, then that's just life, and the best part of the surprise, it's all in free fall. One little boat on a stormy sea, with her bow into the wind, tossed around on what will be, will be. She turns about again. The captain at the wheel can only go by how she feels. He calls out, "Hold the lanyards in." Well, hell, if one more step is the one I'm gonna regret, and I lose the bet right, now for something completely different. Everybody switch. Oh, you're gonna take the guitar. In the high bar gang, wasn't really familiar with anything from that kind of music, that era of music. It's all old authentic bluegrass. We have the benefit of Colin Nairn, who started the band. It was always his dream and his baby. He also works with Elvis Costello and Lyle Lovett, and is the project manager for Ry Cooder. And Ry Cooder loves this music and loved feeding us the tunes, these obscure tunes that he thought we should do. It was really fun. Is really fun. This particular song is one that I have since learned. It's called Cluck Old Hen. It's been covered 1,000 different ways, none of them even recognizable to one another. And when we do it in the high bar gang, it's very busy behind me. When we do it in the high bar gang, Barney sings it, which makes me a little jealous because I've always wanted to sing it. So we figured out a way that we can do that, even though there's only 3 of us instead of 7 of us. Thank you. All right. Are we, wait a minute. Oh, I remember how I got loud before, because I did that. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm almost ready. Okay, here she cackles in the pot. Cluck old hen, cluck and sing. Ain't laid an egg since away last spring. Cluck old hen, cluck and squall. Ain't laid an egg since away last fall. we're going to take a little break because we can. And I think you have beverages to consume and perhaps popcorn. Doesn't get any better than popcorn and music as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, have a little break and we shall return, I promise you.
I hate to move the mic up just in case, so I'll just have to, anyway, crouch down. Enjoy yourself so far? But I love it, as I said, when new people are here and they're seeing the room for the first time. And some of you got back to your seats because I get to do the old by using a nose flute. Aren't those great? You all know what a nose flute is? Yeah. All by blowing out your nostrils. Is that an instrument that no one ever wants to borrow, ladies and gentlemen? People still say it's not music. Anyway, a couple things I want to remind you of is, I was telling everybody that nothing is here for sale, but it's all loosely based on the concept of people with too much spare time. I hope you can see this. And when I say spare time, I'm not necessarily meaning the spare time that would take to solve this problem. It was more about the spare time that was spent deciding that this was a problem that had to be solved. Like you still have to twist that wrist to get the egg to fall off. But hey, that's spare time. I like it. Things I want to remind you of is this is our logo that you'll see around town the next week because we have a blues festival coming up here, our second annual blues festival. And this year we're going to be more committed to acoustic blues with Ken Ham being on next Thursday on the 11th of May. And if you haven't seen him, you must go see him. He takes it's that old Southern style, finger-picking style blues with a bit of slide in it. Very, very cool. We have a dance band on a Friday night. Saturday night we got the David Go-Go non-acoustic show. We'll have earplugs for that one, but if you haven't seen David Go-Go, it's worth taking the time out to catch just what that guy can do. He's won the Maple Blues Award this year for a guitar player, another overnight success. 30 years in the game and he finally gets an award. But anyway, we make jokes about that one. And then the Cecile DeKanga, I don't know if you know about her, or Susie Vinnick, two great female purveyors of the blues in Canada, both guitar players, both singer-songwriters. Do check them out on the Sunday night. And then, of course, David Essick. If we don't know who he is, you might want to check him out. He's an elder statesman when it comes to the blues in Canada. An American who found solace in Canada and came up years ago and did the first recordings for Willie P. Bennett and stuff like that. Definitely. And lives on the West Coast as well. What else did I want to say? Yeah, make sure you get a blue sheet. It's blue this week. It changes up every week, so if you're walking by, that's the easiest way to do it. You could always try and get on our email list if I ever remember to send emails out. I'm getting pretty good for those who get them. Is anybody here getting them? Oh, okay. Y'all might want to sign up. Then you too could get all that little... Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Thank you for coming out and supporting live music. Now that you've been here, make sure you do come back. And let's get this wonderful Shari Ulrich back on stage, please.
Very much. I want that one. Yes, I do. I'm going to do something different because as I said, I'm so used to touring by myself. I had to figure out a way to execute violin, because really, if you know how to play the violin, you really should. So it was a little tricky to do all by myself. So I'm just going to start this half of the show. Oh, you guys, giggling back there. Can you go into my backpack and get the lyrics to the brand new song so that we're prepared, since I forgot. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. Any questions? You guys are okay? Oh, wrong chord. This chord. Very busy up here. It's a lot of chords, a lot of instruments. This is where I'm going to live to a very old age because it's so complex. Started writing a new album of a couple of tunes from it that we will do. This one is so new that I hadn't really finished it as of yesterday when we did our first show. And in the sound check, I said to Julia, can I play it for you? Because, of course, she's my producer, so she has to hear things and give me feedback. So I played it for her, and she liked it, and she said, so let's do it tonight. Scared the hell out of me. But that's one of the many reasons I love her. Thank you. And because she finds things for me. Spare brain. So we're going to brave doing it, and I can't guarantee that there won't be some clams on my part. Well, are you going to stay there? I think so. I've been going to a friend's house in Coles Bay on Vancouver Island. You know where that is? Just north of Bouchard Gardens. And it's just been a fantastic place to write. I think the last few songs I've written in that place. So let's just see how this goes. Ready?
Yeah.
Do you want me to count you in?
No, they don't.
Good. Me neither. Already done that one. Oh, and that one's too sad. We can't do that one now. Well, we can do It's All Right. did you turn that over?
I thought we replaced
Oh,
the
you're
mics.
right. This is the other side. Oh, no, that's right. What? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Everything's under control. Don't be alarmed.
Wait, so
We're
what are we
okay.
doing?
We're doing it. It's all right. That's what we're doing. It's all right. Everything's all right. Although you wouldn't know it from what you're experiencing right now. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to get one of these over here. Oh, wow, this is a thick one. Oh, it's because they're glued together. Pardon?
Your guitar.
Oh, look, there's one right there. God, a lot can change in an intermission. We were so organized before. Okay, this is a nice, shallow song that will cleanse your palate. I don't know. It's one reason why I started writing songs on guitar, because every time I sit down at a piano, it makes me write a sad song. I just can't control it. Oh, harmonica. I'm remembering.
Oh,
All
good.
right. Thank you very much. Except I don't remember which harmonica. I'm going to choose.
It's an A.
Where is the harmonica?
Is this it?
No, it's over here. Sorry. The whole folder. You don't have anywhere to be, do you? Okay. I think we're okay now. Are you okay? Oh, you're going to have to tune for 5 or 10 minutes
Yeah.
now?
Just 10.
Okay. Let's all tune.
Okay.
It's okay, we're not giving up. We are hanging in. We can do this.
Got this.
Ooh. I'm going to just ignore you, Jules, and you're just on your own.
Okay, go for it.
No, that's the wrong song. That is so wrong. It's not like I smoked any pot or anything. I have no idea why this happened. Maybe I should have. When I've never been further from knowing what the hell I'm gonna do. When I can't seem to find my way under or over or through. I'm skipping all over the place. You
Yeah,
okay
it's
with
okay.
that? Of course you are. So you're a professional. This is the other new one that I wrote out at Coles Bay. This was actually an assignment by something called the Guitar Project, which goes around the world. I'm not sure how many cities it's in around the world every year, but there is a guitar that passes between 5 different writers in each city, and their assignment is to write a song on that guitar. And then they come together and have a concert, and the songs get posted onto a website. So I had this assignment, and I always meet my deadlines, although I did cheat a little. Oh, I shouldn't say this out loud. I did start it on my own guitar a few days in advance, just to make sure that I would meet the deadline. I watched the weather coming as it moved in through the sound. The last leaves blowing sideways on their big flight to the ground. First will come the rain, and then the snow is gonna fly by and by. But I'd like to say I'm sorry for the selfish things I've done, the careless words and promises I've scattered on the run. Maybe it'll come that I'll forgive myself in time, by and by. The sun and the moon, they turn and never stray. But you and I aren't made that way. Who put greed in our hearts anyway? That was the first mistake. But I'm pretty sure it's true. No God's gonna save us, it was up to me and you. Soon will come the day we're gonna say we should have tried harder, by and by. Oh, by and by. I didn't hear a sound. You were suddenly in front of me, spinning me around. And everything I thought about the road that I was on is changing, by and by. Oh, by and by. It's all changing by and by. When I was writing this album, it was unusual for me in that I only had a month. Thank you very much, Julia. But in fact, that was good because I'm always been a foot-dragging, whiny writer, and I can find a million ways to procrastinate day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So if I have to do it, I can do it. And the main mantra I kept with me all that time was from Elisabeth Gilbert's TED Talks on creativity, where she says, show up and it will come. That's all there is to it. And it truly is all there is to it. So I kept showing up and it kept coming. And this particular song, as I said before, because I do a lot of writing when I'm walking in the woods, it came to me as I was walking in the woods, and I'm such a nature gal and really believe in the importance and power of nature, which is probably one reason you all live here. So this is my little ode to Bowen Island, an ode to nature. such a pretty little bird high in the willow tree. I never thought in all the world there could be a song so sweet. She sings for love, sings for joy, the only song she knows. I just wanna be right here everywhere I go. Walk on over the wooden bridge across Killarney Creek. I never thought in all the world there could be a sound so sweet. Water running over reeds and stones in the still of the alder grove. I just wanna be right here everywhere I go, everywhere I go. Follow the creek to the windy shore, to the edge of the stormy sea. I never thought in all the world there could be a sound so big. The call of the turns and the crashing waves soothe the darkest soul. I just wanna be right here everywhere I go, everywhere I go, everywhere I go. That's fun. Oh, you want to know what's next? I was thinking, making friends with Gone. Just a lot of secrets up here. Okay. This song came out while I was in this chapter of writing, and it happened to be that my found son's birth father, who I had reconnected with along with his adoptive mother, I was down visiting her in California, which is where I was raised and where he was raised and where she lives. And one night we thought, let's see if we can find his birth father. So we got on the internet, found someone with his name who lived about an hour away, phoned him up, and it was him. So we went out to Bodega Bay, where he lived with his wife of 30 years and 2 of his 3 children, and had this amazing reconnection. And Mike phoned his birth father on the next Father's Day, and then his father, Frank, died behind the wheel of the car before Mike got a chance to meet him. But he went to his memorial, which was in the community where he'd lived for 30 years, and it was this profound experience for many reasons, partly because he looks just like his father. He looks just like me and just like his father. And he got out of the car, and his kids just swarmed him. Frank's kids, his half-siblings, because they just couldn't believe it was like Frank had come back. And so the eldest son in particular was just hugging him, and Mike said, just when I thought, yeah, okay, done hugging. Oh, no, not done hugging. It was, the other reason it was such a profound experience, one moment. Was because this was his community where he'd been for all those decades, and it wasn't a religious memorial. It was just the community coming together and sharing stories about what Frank had meant to them, and that's how we got to know who his birth father was. So he phoned me on the way home, and because there were many other people who passed away during that time, and I was just so struck by that time after the memorial, when everyone goes back to their lives and you're left with this new reality, this new kind of gone that you haven't experienced before. Most all the food's been put away, a little soup left on the stove. I hear the last car leaving down the driveway and up the road. It was so sweet of Jim and Joan to make a trip so long. I guess now I'll be making friends with gone. Well, the flowers, they were beautiful, and everyone so kind. I thought how you'd have loved to see so many dear friends at one time. Well, after all the stories and the toasts till nearly dawn, I guess now I'll be making friends with gone. Well, I'm so glad we had those last days, laughing so hard at the jokes you made. And like every time that you drove away, you said I love you, and I called out I love you too. Well, just a little longer now. I don't want to go to bed. Maybe just another walk down Cooper Road instead. If anybody asks you how I'm getting on, just tell them I'm still making friends with gone. Now forever making friends with gone. Oh, yeah. 1 for 5.
Okay. For your harmonica.
Oh, thank you, Julia. All right, we're batting 1,000. Last night I forgot my harmonica on every song I was supposed to have it on. It's this one. There is a fellow somewhere in your community, at least he used to be here, and I'm just assuming he still is, named Zach Doding. Do you know Zach Doding? What happened to Zach Doding? Zachary. Zachary came to a songwriting workshop in Victoria that I was giving and brought this amazing song that I just fell in love with instantly and asked him if I could have my way with it and record it. And he was very happy about that. He came and played guitar on the track. And I kind of haven't heard from him since. I don't know what happened to him. I know he was really hoping it was going to be like the anthem for climate change in the 21st century, and it didn't quite turn out that way. And he probably also thought he was going to get wealthy. So I think he's over that, and perhaps maybe he's not over that. But I love the song, and I love that he wrote it and I didn't have to. Climate change does not need to be in tune. Oh, okay. Close enough. The pipe waits at the border, stacked 2 stories tall. money's on the table, the writing's on the wall. From Texas to Alberta, just waiting for the call. 2,000 miles of heavy crude, one sky to hold it all. Hold it all. One sky to hold it all. Hold it all. One sky to hold it all. On the tar sands of McMurray, the Gulf of Mexico, the gridlock cars and rush hour all around the globe. A small cloud over Beijing, 1,000 stories tall. Gigatons of carbon, one sky to hold it all. Hold it all. One sky to hold it all. Hold it all. One sky to hold it all. Oh, that is such the wrong harmonica. Whoa! Maybe it's upside down. No, it's just wrong. I can still play it, but one sky to hold it all. One sky for the strip mines of Virginia, the Appalachians fall, and a coal car stretched across the plains like a steady rolling wall. From underground to power, the clouds above Nepal, 200 years of carbon, one sky to hold it all. Hold it all. One sky to hold it all. Hold it all. One sky. Hold it on. How did that happen? F sharp minor. It's supposed to be the right one.
So we played in the
I'll
wrong
be
key.
revisiting my notes. No, we played it in the right key, right? You'd be the first to know.
You were supposed to have B flat. It should have been a
Oh, it's
G
supposed to
or
be
G
a
minor.
B flat harmonica. Do you want to play it again?
Yeah.
Damn! We're so close to perfection.
It was jazzy.
You could probably just play that through my system. We're gonna do, here's how it works. We're gonna pretend we're doing one more song for you. And then, well, of course, it's not very far to leave this stage. Sometimes it just feels like such a charade to pretend you're leaving. So I tend to discourage the charade and just say, this is our last song, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I also had, why do I have to share everything with you? I also had a hair tickling my nose so intensely. I tried so hard to concentrate on what I was doing, and that's all I could think about was that I'm almost finished the song so I can scratch my nose. See, I really should just get a crew cut. It would be a lot easier. Thank you for coming tonight. I am so keenly aware that you have so many other options at home. And it is harder and harder to get people to come out of their houses at night because we're all cocooning. It's just such a crazy world. We just want to be in our comfortable homes and pick our entertainment for the evening. And the fact that you understand the importance of coming to hear live music really means a lot to us. Thank you. And of course, huge thanks to Longevity John and everyone involved in this joint, because he certainly gets it too, and always has. So we're going to play a last song. Yes. Oh, sure. Let's just give her. This song speaks to how it's a long and winding road for most of us. And there are many points along the way where you think you might be making mistakes, but hopefully there are also many more places along the road where it feels so right to be where you are, and you wouldn't have gotten there without those twists and turns in the road. And I never lose my sense of gratitude for the road that I ended up on. And experiences like this, I mean, I just never could have dreamed of anything this good and this fun and a daughter this amazing. And it's been a good life so far. Just keeps getting better and better. All right. Change comes and picks you up just when you start to fall. Or sometimes it's too familiar and you've just gotta run. Or you can't find what you think you need to do what must be done. But wherever you run, wherever you roam, every road is leading you home. Whatever may come, whatever the load, every road leads I was going to say, we don't have anywhere to go, but we do. We're going to Parksville. We have an afternoon show there tomorrow, and we have to go to the Coombs store before we go to Parksville, because, you know, you have to.
Are you going to be able to throw in the verse with the correct harmonica?
You mean the solo with the correct harmonica? If it's important to you, I would.
I was wondering if it was important to you, because
I'm kind of over it. Blessing of short-term memory loss. What wrong harmonica? This is a song that I have not done a show in 40 odd years without doing it. And it was not written by me, it was written by Joe Mock of the Pied Pumpkin. And he he threw the song away. He threw the lyrics away, and Rick Scott happened to notice them in his wastebasket and made him play them for him. And I always bring that up because it's important to know that we are not the best judges of our own work. It's very important to bounce them off other people. And they played the song, you know, as you're wont to do when you have a new song. They played it for hours and worked up the arrangement, and then they phoned me without saying a word. They just played the song and hung up. And I raced over, and it literally was 2 a.m. And together we played the song and sang the song for hours. And the very first time we performed it was on the Queen Elizabeth Playhouse stage, which was recorded as a live album for our second album. So if you're a collector and you have Pied Pumpkin String Ensemble's album, second album, that the Fear of Flying that's on there is the first time it was ever performed. And then I was lured away to be a sideman for Valdi and the Hometown Band tour. And we went from coast to coast, literally, to St. John's, Newfoundland, from Victoria. And as a band, we weren't really a band yet. We just were his sidemen, and we did one song every night, and it was Fear of Flying. And Valdi at that time was playing to 3,000-seat theaters, 2 shows a night, everywhere he went. So it was an amazing, I was Julia's age, incredible experience to have that. I mean, I'd never even been across Canada. So that song meant everything to me, and still does, and does to a lot of people. So I'm very happy to be able to do it for you. That was a long time for you guys to have to stand there and look interested. Are you okay? You did a really good job. That's why you get the big bucks. Thank you again so much for being a lovely audience, and to Tim for great sound. Help me out of this space, I'm crying, and I don't want to lose in the race. Everything we do is just another trying, and some never lose the fear of flying. Oh, the music in those nightclubs seldom satisfies my need for a simple song the world can sing along, straight from the heart. Give me my part, help me out of this space, I'm crying, and I don't want to lose in the race. Everything we do is just another trying, and some never lose the fear of flying. And to hear my friends play away the night, and I
haven't played this before, I don't think, but I think we did. Day I was born, cloudy and gray. That's why you'll hear me say, I'm going down south. Yeah, where the sun always shines. Come on, pretty baby.